We were talking about Midwest power violence and how much it sucks. Weekend nachos. Who else? DeKalb had like a grind scene though.
That's Gonza's town, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he still lives there.
I think I've heard him talking about that.
He's like the only remaining person in DeKalb. It's about an hour or 45 minutes from Chicago. It's where Charles Bronson's from.
That's what I know. That's why I know that name. But
And other people in Sick
Tired are from there.
Yeah.
MK Ultra was great.
MK Ultra, yeah, there you go. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
That was like 90s stuff. I feel like I saw them in the 90s.
You mentioned to me recently, I feel like you were trying to rub it in that you got to see Assuck live.
I did in the 90s in Florida.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
That's one that I'm just...
But same, like Assuck and also seeing Los Crudos in the 90s, I didn't actually know how powerful and amazing these bands would be, informative for me later on. And I just saw them like on a whim because they're on a flyer. And I was like, oh, this looks cool. Let me go to this. Because we didn't have the internet. And it was mind melting. And like, I remember I actually went to school in high school after seeing Los Crudos and signed up for Spanish classes so that I could read the records. And I was like, I'm going to learn Spanish. Thank you, Los Crudos, for helping my education.
So you weren't content with knowing the one song that they had where the lyrics were in English.
Right, or just like translating it. No, I really wanted to learn Spanish so that I could understand this band and like get into them more. That's how like formative it was for me.
That's so disappointing to me that you got to see stuff like that on a whim in high school.
Why?
Because I'm comparing that to like suburban New Jersey in the early 2000s, and it was just like, oh, sweet. There's a show at the coffee house where the local pop punk band is playing, and there's nothing else going on.
Wasn't there a lot of screamo, like Page 99 or something?
Probably, but where I'm from and the shows that I had the ability to get to, there was like, it was definitively like bands who strived to be third tier Fat Records bands.
Yeah.
Was like the sound of Burlington County for a little while. And then it became metalcore about like probably like 2003 or 4.
So for our audience, where's Burlington County at?
Burlington County sits just east of Philadelphia. Just east of Philadelphia is Camden County, and then just north of Camden County is Burlington County.
How long of a drive is it to get to Philly?
From my house where I grew up, it's probably like a 40-minute drive, but my parents were not about to take me into the city for damn near anything.
So far enough that you couldn't go to shows, but you knew about them.
So by the time we started like driving, we were able to like get to shows. And the first show I was ever at in Philly that by myself was like a house show that we got like very loose directions to. So this was like pre-MapQuest even. It might have existed, but we didn't have...
You pulled out the old Rand McNally from the back seat?
Not even. We had like dudes who were older than us who also had no sense of direction explain to us how to get to the show. And the directions that they gave us were drive to like 30th and Market Street and find a parking spot there and then just walk north. Which, if you know anything about Philadelphia, Market Street at 30th is 30th Street Station, and it's like a big transit hub, and there's nothing around there. The show that we went to was like closer to the zoo, so like it was like 4 17-year-old kids like walking through like questionable...
Trying to listen for music or what?
Yeah, like I have no idea what our plan was, and like we literally just like happened to like see a guy we know drive by us and make a turn, and we were like, it's got to be down that way, and like we found the house like via that.
Oh my gosh.
Total fucking happenstance. We like walked the wrong way and ended up at UPenn, and we're just like, there's no way the show is here. It was
Who played?
It was Artemis Pyle.
All right.
And I couldn't tell you who else.
Did you have to form your own bands to have your own shows in Burlington County?
I was in bands that sucked, but there was a few people who like booked. So there was Flapjack Promotions,
All right.
which was the like epicenter of the previously mentioned third tier, striving to be third tier Fat Records bands. And then there
Sounds
was
about right. Fitting name.
right. And then there was Hell's Gate Promotions, which was like the one street punk chick who booked shows.
Oh, I thought that'd be metal.
No.
Like Hell's Hammer or
yeah,
something.
no. There was a street punk band by the name of Upheaval 55.
Nice.
That was
I like the number.
Real
yeah.
bad. Yeah, they had to have a number.
Yep.
They were real bad, and we played a couple of shows with them at a batting cages. That's where we had shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It sounded awful because we all had like the types of amps you have when you're like 15 years old. So they're like little teeny guys, and you're playing
Practice amps.
Right, you're playing out of practice amps in a venue that's way bigger than I would ever get to play now.
And the acoustics were like crazy.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's literally a batting cages, and on the other side there was people actually still using the batting cages. So
Oh
it's not
my
like
gosh,
they
are you
didn't,
serious?
Yeah, they didn't like shut the place down. Like
No.
it was like still functionally like kids having batting practice.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I wonder if there are any recordings from those.
Of the shows?
Yeah, that would
No.
have batting like practice in the background.
In the background?
It could be cool.
I don't know that any of us had the foresight to like want to record that for later.
Right. That's like some South America shit.
Yeah.
Setting up generators in the middle of the street, just going for it.
Test playing out of the side of a van.
DER. I think they're the ones that started it, right?
I don't know. I've seen Test play out of the side of a van.
I think DER are more like definitely long. Like they've run a lot longer than Test.
And I think it's both the same dudes are in the band, or at least the drummer's
The drummer.
same. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think that Aaron put out both bands, though.
He's definitely the reason why I found out about DER.
Aaron's the reason I find out about a lot of stuff.
He's got his
Aaron of Nerve Alter, if you don't know.
finger on the pulse.
Oh, yeah. Of everything that's not cool. The kids find later. And he's like, damn it, I still have 500 of these records in my house.
Why won't anyone buy these Sayadina LPs?
Exactly. Yeah, like now that Water Torture is cool.
Yeah.
He's like, damn. Or Brutal Blues, which no
That's
one
a fucking
knows.
good record.
Oh my god, that record is epic. It's
Yeah.
like perfect. The packaging, like
I
the
know.
actual record, the sound, everything is so good with it. No one knows who they are. It's a shame that everyone is all up on parliamentarist sodomy.
That dude can also kind of do no wrong, though. Sudoku is great.
Sudoku's good. Do you like Sudoku more than parliamentarist sodomy?
Every once in a while, you feel like there's a band that exists only to please you, because it's like such a weird concoction of elements that like you're like, this can't be popular to a lot of people. And I feel like Sudoku kind of hits those strokes for me. 'Cause, like,
Really? That's deep.
no one else is like, hey, what if prog rock was played at grindcore speeds?
Yeah.
Nobody bothered to ask that question, and probably for good reason, because if it wasn't done by that fucking madman up in Norway, it would probably be terrible.
I wonder what he eats for breakfast.
I don't know. Marbles.
Marbles?
Like, just choose glass. I read interviews with that guy, and I'm like, I'm not sure what to make of him.
Has anyone ever met him?
I don't know.
No, I don't think any musicians in Norway are ever met in person. I don't think they exist.
It's exclusively a nation of one-man projects.
Yes, exactly. Except Dark Throne, 2-man.
Is that Norway?
Yes.
Okay. All right, whatever. I don't listen to Dark Throne.
Why not?
I don't know.
2008, man. That record was epic. I was giving off my list of top records for 2008, and they're on it.
That's true.
Dark Thrones and Black Flags. It's very crusty.
Yeah. I remember seeing this, like, black metal documentary thing. And he definitely seemed like one of the only truly likable characters out of that whole...
Because they're super punk.
Yeah.
They, like, refuse to play for, like, absurd amounts of money. And, like, they do their own thing. They also have, like a mixtape release or something like that where they promote a lot of, like, smaller bands.
Respect.
Yeah, it's cool. They still take the bus. Like, they're just, like, legit as fuck. I don't know.
I don't know that you can credit taking the bus as any sort of like.
In my mind, like, all, like, black metal stars take limousines everywhere. Very dark hearses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta have like caddy around their like corpse paint and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.